Mystery. Good evening, friends. This is your host of the Inner Sanctum, welcoming you to another half hour of gore galore. Come in, won't you, and sit down. No, not there. You'll sit on Ezekiel. He wouldn't like that. Besides, you'd probably find him pretty cold. We've been keeping him on ice for about 6 months now. What? That noise? Oh, that's just his teeth chattering. No, not because he's cold, but because he's just finished going over tonight's story and, well, I guess you could call him a scared stiff.
Goodness, is the story really going to be so scary? You mean that lots of people are going to be murdered?
Yes, Mary, but don't worry. We're only killing people who've never been killed before.
Well, I guess then that all the characters in the story will need plenty of ho suet.
Ho suet? What's that? Chinese for Lipton tea?
Well, you're half right. It's Chinese. Ho suet means good luck. And that's what it says in Chinese characters on the sterling silver medallion that the Lipton people are offering to the ladies. Yes, ladies, the medallion is a Chinese good luck charm. But more than that, it's a really lovely piece of jewelry. It's made of solid sterling silver, and it's hung on a narrow black rayon satin ribbon. That's the fashion this year, you know. Yes, this handsome medallion is the kind of jewelry you find at those smart shops on Fifth Avenue in New York. And to get it, all you have to do is to send 25 cents and the box top from a package of Lipton's, the tea with the brisk flavor, to Lipton Tea, Box 92. That's Box 92, New York City.
All right, friends. Now get ready for a surprise. Tonight's story is called Death Across the Board. It's an original radio play by Robert Newman. And our star is that famous dramatic actor of stage and screen, Raymond Massey, who will play the role of John Strand. You like to play games. Your life, with even your soul on one throw of the dice or the turn of a card. You don't care for such high stakes, eh? Well, did it ever occur to you, by living, you're playing such a game, and that your opponent was death? Tonight, I'm going to tell you a story about a man who sat in death's place, playing with human lives, and of what happened to him. It is about 10 o'clock on a sultry summer evening, and Dr. John Strand is standing in front of the window of a pawn shop in the oldest part of the city. On a sudden impulse, he pushes open the door.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Is there anything I can do for you?
No, thank you. If you don't mind, I'd just like to look around.
By all means. I just thought if there was something in particular.
Oh, I really didn't have anything special in mind. I just thought... Hello.
Ah, my chess set.
Yes, a very interesting set. And a very interesting game you're playing.
My dear sir, you have no idea how interesting.
Whose move?
White's?
Then White should win in 6 moves.
That, sir, is very much open to question.
Well, perhaps we can play sometime. And how much for this set?
It's not for sale.
Oh, too bad.
Yes. However, if you're interested in chess and chessmen, I know of a set that I think might appeal to you. It's an Arabian set, 12th to 13th century ivory. The white pieces are Saracen warriors, and the black pieces are crusaders.
Do you have it here?
Unfortunately, no. It's not very far away. If you thought you'd like to see it.
Well, if it's not too outrageously expensive, and you're sure it's no bother?
My dear sir, don't give it another thought. I'll be most anxious for your reactions, even if you don't buy. The address is 23 Vallon Place. It's down 2 blocks and 1 to your right. Go up 1 flight and ask for Felix. Tell him that Raphael sent you.
23 Vallon Place. Up 1 flight Ask for Felix.
I'll phone him and tell him to expect you. Your name is?
Strand. Dr. John Strand.
Very good, Dr. Strand. Somehow I have the feeling we shall see each other again. Perhaps we should even have the chance to play that game you mentioned before.
Who's that? Who's there?
Felix?
I said, who's there?
My name's Strand. Raphael sent me over here. He said he'd phone you and...
Just a second.
How do you do? I hope I'm not disturbing you.
Okay, come on in. And stick 'em up.
What? I'm afraid there must be some mistake.
Sure is, Bub, and you made it thinking you could come here and take me this way.
Well, this is
I
ridiculous.
said stick 'em up. Keep 'em up or I'll let you have it right now.
What for?
Because I said so, that's what's for. Let go of me. Let go. Drop that gun. Oh, drop it, do you hear it? Where is it? Sure let you have it right away.
Okay. Now get up and tell me what this is all about. I said get up and... Felix. Dead. He's dead. Hello?
Felix?
I'm sorry, but he can't come to the phone right now.
Oh, Strand. Congratulations.
What? Who is this?
This is Raphael. Now, do you think it's possible for White to win in 5 moves?
What do you mean?
You killed him, didn't you? Of course you did. Or you wouldn't be speaking to me now. May I suggest that you go through Felix's pockets, take out the most interesting thing you find there, and bring it to my shop?
What? Hello? Hello? Raphael? Go through his pockets. I've got to get to the bottom of this, find out what it's all about. A wallet. Keys. And a chessman. A black rook. All right, Mr. Raphael. I think perhaps I'll take you up on that. I will go back to your shop.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Yes. Where's Raphael?
Oh, I'm sorry. He's not in right now, but are you Dr. Strand?
I am.
I'm Alice Hines. He must have been expecting you. He asked me to give you this.
What is it?
I don't know, but
Another chessman. A white knight.
Oh, yes. Mr. Raphael is quite a chess player.
He's more than that. He's a murderer.
What? What do you mean?
He sent me to see someone, a man named Felix, to look at a chess set. When I got there, he pulled a gun on me and... Well, when I tried to get it away from him, it went off and killed him.
Oh, no.
Don't look so surprised and innocent. You work for him. You must know what it's all about.
There must be some mistake, some horrible mistake.
A mistake, eh? Then why did he phone Felix's while I was there? How did he know he'd been killed? Why did he laugh about it? Tell me to come here.
Well, I don't know, but I can't believe that about him. I won't.
No? Well, we'll see what the police have to say about it. Where's the phone?
Back there. But if you're serious about it, you don't have to bother calling them. Riley just went past here a few minutes ago. There he is, up at the corner.
Fine. That'll save some time. Officer! Oh, officer, would you... Good Lord. Someone shot him.
That woman hiding behind that car there. The woman in black. She's coming in here. Don't just stand there. Get inside and shut the door. You shot Riley. You killed him. 6 months I've been trying to find out who got Ben. Now he can rest in peace. Where's Raphael? Raphael? He's the one that got the dope for me. Told me how to knock the cop off. Told me to come in here afterwards.
Well, Miss Hines?
Why are you looking so funny? Say, whose side are you on, anyway?
Not ours.
That's it. I just took it for granted you were working for Rafe. Okay, get him up and keep him up. What'll I do with him, Raphael? Where are you anyway?
Oh, I'm around here someplace. As to what to do with them, I leave that to your discretion. After all, they are witnesses.
Yeah, that's right.
May I recommend the cellar? Right through that door there. It's secluded and quiet.
Okay. Get moving.
I repeat, Miss Hines. Well?
Fantastic. What are you going to do to us? You can't be that dumb, babyface. 6 months I've been wearing black for the only guy I ever loved. I finally get the guy that got him. You think I'm going to leave the two of you around to put the finger on me? I mean, you're going to kill us? You cannot. No. Seems to me I did a pretty neat job on that flatfoot. After all, they can't burn you more than once. Okay, open that door and go on down.
Allow me, madam.
Never mind, wise guy. You go down first. Then babyface.
It's not very good manners.
No, I'm not going to let you do it. Give me that. No, don't you fool. Let it go.
Down after. Now hurry. Watch while I get the gun.
I didn't mean to do this. I was just trying to get the gun, but she tripped. She fell. Like a tramp. Why is she lying there so funny? Her head.
Let's see. Huh. Her neck's broken. She's dead.
Oh, no. That means I killed her.
Not any more than it means I killed Felix.
Look. There, lying next to her. Isn't that another chess piece?
The Black Queen.
Why, he gave me one just like that when I first came to work for him. Only it was a white one.
What? Black Queen, White Queen, White Knight, and... No. It's impossible. And still...
You've thought of something.
It's too incredible. But I've had a certain nightmare vision that... Come on. We're going to the police. Maybe it's our move now.
Well, live and learn. I always had an idea that I wouldn't like chess, that it was a pretty slow game. But here we've only been playing for about 15 minutes, and we've chalked up 3 corpses already. Yes, this kind of chess is just like a divorce.
Why? What do you mean?
Well, it's a good way to get rid of your wife. That is, if she's a stale maid.
Well, I assure you, most men don't want to get rid of their wives.
Is that so? Didn't you tell me that a man had written in to ask for that Lipton sterling silver medallion on the black ribbon?
Yes.
And didn't he say he wanted to put it around his wife's neck as a choker? Hmm?
Oh, dear, you don't understand. A choker is just one of the ways in which you can wear this medallion. Of course, you can also wear it as a necklace or... Well, here's what one of our listeners says she does.
I put the medallion on my charm bracelet. I just took it off the narrow black rayon satin ribbon on which it's hung and then slipped it on my bracelet. The medallion was just the right size.
Yes, ladies, and no matter how you wear it, the medallion is really a smart piece of jewelry. It's made of solid sterling silver, and it's about 1 inch in diameter. So send for your medallion tonight. The Lipton people are making it easy for you to own one. Just send 25 cents and the box top from a package of Liptons, the tea with the brisk flavor, to Lipton Tea, Box 92. That's Box 92, New York City.
Yeah, it's better right now, friends, while your hands are still steady enough to address the envelope. Well, let's go back to our game of chess. And our star, Raymond Massey, who's playing the role of John Strand. It's about a half hour later now. Dr. Strand and Alice Hines are sitting in a bare, quiet room, the chief's office at police headquarters. For the past 10 minutes, Strand has been talking steadily, describing everything that has happened.
So you each bumped someone off, eh? And you come to give yourselves up.
We certainly did not come here to give ourselves up, Chief. I told you that in both cases it was self-defense. We're here because there's a madman loose. a homicidal maniac. It just came to me a little while ago. There was something strangely familiar about this Raphael, and... Did you ever hear of Raphael Norbert?
No.
He was one of the greatest chess players the world has ever known. About 5 years ago, he disappeared. Well, he's playing another chess game now. The maddest game that ever was. Is there a map of the city around?
Right there on the wall.
Let's see. Now, here's Raphael's shop. And yes, this would be it. This section of the city here is 8 blocks each way. This is his chessboard. And human beings, people like Alice and I, are his chessmen.
What?
John.
I know it sounds fantastic, but I think it's true. When he sent me to Felix's, he told me to go down 2 blocks and 1 to the right. That's the move of the night. In other words, he had cast me as one of the white knights in his crazy game. Alice was the white queen. He himself was the black king, and so on.
He just lined up all these people. Said, you play this piece, you play that,
No.
and...
That was the beauty of the game. The fascinating, exciting part to him. No one knew that they were playing in it, but he. For instance, Felix didn't know that he was a black rook any more than I knew I was a white knight. But his black pieces were all criminals of some sort who wouldn't hesitate to kill. And it was by killing that one piece took another. You see, that was the ultimate refinement. The thing that made this the greatest game Norbert has ever played. He could plan a move, but he had no way of telling which piece would take which. For instance, I killed Felix instead of his killing me. In other words, he was not only playing his game against law and order, against society, but he was matching his brains against that of every piece in the game.
Against law and order, eh? I got this in the mail a couple of weeks ago, without any letter or anything. How would it fit in with your theory?
The White King. Of course. He's cast you in the role of the White King. In other words, he's playing this game principally against you.
Now do you believe us, Mr. Adams? Do you?
I don't know. It's possible, I suppose. We've been having a funny kind of crime wave lately, killings without any apparent... Hello?
Hello, Chief. Valenti speaking. I'm down at the corner of 3rd and Sycamore, and there's something kind of screwy going on.
Hello? Hello? Valenti?
What's the matter?
One of our detectives calling from 3rd and Sycamore. Said there was something screwy on, and then, well, sounded like somebody got him. I'll make sure about this before you answer, but would this be part of what you were talking about?
Let's look at the map again. 3rd and Sycamore. That would be in the area that's Raphael's chessboard. Yes, I think it is.
Okay, come on. We're going down there.
There he is, lying next to the call box.
Dead. Stabbed.
Look there, lying next to him. Another chess piece.
A pawn. A white pawn. Of course. If you're the White King, then all your men would be pawns.
Pawns, huh? They're the pieces that get pushed around, aren't they?
Well, they're the ones that are usually sacrificed.
2 of my men, Riley and Valenti. Okay, Strand, you're a chess player. You think you can figure out what this Raphael character's going to do next? Tell me how I can meet him?
I might. I only got a very quick look at the board, but if I can remember the location of the pieces...
You mean he's actually got a board set up showing where all the pieces, where everybody is?
There's one set up on a little table right next to his desk. No one's allowed to touch it.
That's the one. And it was because I noticed it, commented on it, that I got involved in this nightmare. I think I do remember the position of all the pieces that were left. But of course, some moves may have been made since I saw it last.
Well, what are we fooling around for? Let's go to that shop and make sure. All dark. Doesn't look as if anyone's in the store.
Locked, all right. You got a key, haven't you, Alice?
No, Raphael never gave me one. He always locked up himself.
Well, what do we do?
2 of my men killed and you ask me something like that. Look out. Okay, where's the light?
Right here. There's the chessboard over there.
I know. Let's take a look at it.
This all there is to the place?
Except for the cellar,
She must still be down there. That woman in
We'll
black.
go down there later. Well, Strand,
Well, at the moment, Black seems to have the edge on us. Several moves have been made, and we've lost several pieces. But we still got a
the
fair
devil's
chance.
winning that game. Where's this Rayfield guy, the Black King? What's he going to do next?
Just give me another minute or two, will you? The Black King is still in his own square, which would seem to mean that Rayfield was still here someplace. The thing is, I'm not sure whose move it is now.
You're right, Strand. I am still here. And it's my move.
What in thunder?
It's him speaking over some kind of loudspeaker system, maybe from the cellar.
From the cellar, huh? Now, I'm going to...
Alice, where are you?
Over here.
Are you all right?
I think so. What was it? What happened?
He must have had the place mined or set a booby trap, and when Adams went to open the cellar door, he... Where is Adams?
What? I'm not sure, but I think he's over there.
I must have some matches someplace. Here. Under that beam. There. Help me lift it off. Adam!
Is he...
No, but he's pretty badly hurt. Just let me get a few tourniquets tied on him, and we better get him to a hospital. This way. The emergency ward's right in there.
How do you know?
Well, I ought to. I interned here. Funny. There's no one around. Well, let's put him right there, on the table. Gently. That's it. Hello? This is Dr. Strand speaking from the emergency ward. I've got a very severe accident case here. Is there anyone around who can take care of him? What about surgery? Crandall? Oh, fine. Will you ask him to get down here as soon as possible? Thanks. The chap I used to know, just finishing an operation. He'll be down in a few minutes.
Will there still be time?
Yes, I think so. We'll have to give him a transfusion once we get him patched up. I'll start scrubbing up myself in case Crandall needs a hand.
Isn't there anything I can do?
Just keep your eye on him, the tourniquets particularly. It'd be too bad if he lost any more blood.
Right. He's still unconscious, but...
Oh, hello, Crandall. That was quick. Awfully glad you were here. It's a pretty serious case. Adams, the chief of police. An explosion.
Oh?
If we don't work fast, we may lose him. Shock. Possible concussion. Right axillary artery severed. I got a tourniquet on. I'll be finished scrubbing up in a minute. Give you a hand.
Take your time. No hurry. I'll just...
What are you doing?
removing the tourniquet.
Wait, I'm not ready with the ligatures yet. Oh. You're not Crandall. You're Rachel.
Right, Strand. Rachel Norbert. Dr. Crandall is still in surgery. Locked in, as a matter of fact. I put on this mask and gown not because I thought it would fool you. Because, well, somehow it just seemed appropriate.
But it can't be you. You were in the shop.
No, Strand. You're thinking of my voice. It was coming over a loudspeaker system from next door. If you're thinking of my position on the board, you forget. I hadn't made my move yet.
Rayfield, I don't know why you've done all this, and I don't care why. But you've got to let us do something about Chief Adams. All that blood he's
Yes,
losing.
Rachel, for heaven's sake.
Don't move, either of you. When I have to shoot, I sincerely hope it won't be necessary. After all, when the chief of police dies, the game will be over. And a most interesting game it's been.
But haven't there been enough deaths?
You're very sentimental, my dear. I'm afraid you never would make a good chess player. Pieces have been taken, that's all.
Rayfield, suppose we just give up. Say you've won.
That's right, Rayfield. We'll cede you the game, but let me do something about Adams. There's still time. I've got everything ready here. All the instruments.
No, Strand. This is one game I won't have ceded. But I insist on having played out to the last move.
If that's the way you want it, all right. If I'm not mistaken, it's my move now.
My eyes! My eyes!
I can't see.
The formaldehyde won't help them any. Here's his gun, Alice. Watch him while I get these tourniquets back on Adams.
Do you think you can still save
Yes. His pulse is weak, but I think we can still save him.
That was my hand.
As for you, Raphael, you made one bad mistake. You forgot that 3 of us came to your shop. The White King, White Queen, and White Knight. That would put you in check.
Well, Strand, I felicitate and congratulate you. If I am to lose, I prefer to lose in my own way.
Watch it!
Oh, he went through the window.
There's a railroad underpass right outside. A drop of about 60 feet. I think that's game, match, and tournament.
What? You mean the game's over already? Well, that's impossible. We've still got some characters left, at least 3 of them that haven't been killed off. We've been robbed, and I think we ought to call for a return match. Let's take a vote on it there. All those in favor? 1, 2, 3. That's funny. It came out just the way it did for our friend Raphael. The eyes got it.
Heavens, let's not have another game of chess.
Yes, Mary. Now do you see why they call the pieces chess men instead of women? Oh, this game's too rough for women.
It certainly is rough.
Oh, do you feel worn out and tired? Why don't you rest a while? Then you can slip into something comfortable, like a winding sheet. And if you want to be really fancy, you can put on your sterling silver medallion. What? You have no medallion? Well, here's how you get one. Just send...
Never mind. I'll tell them, thank you. Ladies, if you want to own a handsome sterling silver medallion, just send 25 cents and the box top from a package of Lipton, the tea with the brisk flavor, to Lipton Tea, Box 92, New York City.
Before I say goodnight, a word of advice. If you should ever get into a chess game with a stranger and you happen to notice that he's got a meat axe on his lap, don't get up and run. Just make sure that there's someone else around to help pick up the pieces. Oh, by the way, this month's Inner Sanctum Mystery novel is Lay That Pistol Down by Richard Powell. And oh yes, let me tell you about next week's Inner Sanctum story. Directed by Himan Brown and brought to you by Lipton Tea and Lipton Soup. Next week's story is about a picture that kills everyone who owns it. It's a masterpiece of murder. Yes, just as soon as a man hangs up his picture, vice versa happens. The picture hangs him. And now it's time to close the squeaking door until next Tuesday. So, good night. Pleasant dreams.
Folks, the next time you send a box of food to your boy overseas, be sure to include a package or 2 of Lipton's noodle soup mix. You see, Lipton's is just like a taste of home. Yes, it has the same homemade chickeny taste as the soup you make yourself, the soup your boy's always been so fond of. That's why it's such a thoughtful, welcome little gift to send Lipton. And as you know yourself, Lipton's noodle soup makes a grand snack. So remember, send a package or 2 to your boy. And remember to tune in next Tuesday night for another Inner Sanctum Mystery.
This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Palmolive Brushless and Palmolive Lather Shaving Cream presents Inner Sanctum Mystery, starring Mary Astor.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum. This is your host, Raymond, welcoming you through the squeaking door. Well, we're having a gay musicale here tonight, featuring, of course, only haunting melodies. But I'm afraid none of the performers will get a hand unless it's a cold one. You see, it's so hard to applaud after rigor mortis has set in. But you can come in and set in, too. There are plenty of seats available. And if there's nothing left in the orchestra, we can give you a box.
Tonight's Inner Sanctum story, Melody of Death, is an original radio play by Robert Tallman and Robert Sloan and stars the famous movie actress Mary Astor in the role of Anne. It is directed by Himan Brown. Miss Astor appears tonight through the courtesy of Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer. Men, Inner Sanctum Mysteries ask you to shave with Palmolive Brushless and Palmolive Lather Shaving Cream. Either Palmolive Brushless or Palmolive Lather Shaving Cream gives you the cleanest, most comfortable shave you ever had, free from razor burn, or mail the carton top to us and we'll refund your money.
Have you a little gypsy in your home? One with a gold ring in his ear and a magic violin in his hand? Well, if he's anything like a fellow named Enrique, don't let him play an encore of the Melody of Death. Like a spidery web floating in midair, death hangs over the room where Anne is talking to her beloved David. Ghastly white, she summons the last ounce of ebbing strength to speak to him of love.
Don't leave me alone here, David. I'm afraid. Just hold me in your arms. In a few minutes, it'll all be... David, what's that on your hand? Blood. How did you get... Oh, yes, I remember now. The cat. The cat with the yellow eyes. And the music. It was the music that started the whole thing, wasn't it, David? I remember now. That evening in Lubo's cafe, Enrique, the gypsy violinist, came over to our table.
The senorita is very happy this evening, no?
You don't need your gypsy magic to tell you that, do you, Enrique?
The senorita is going to be married, no? You guessed it.
Play for us, Enrique. You know the tune I like so much.
Los Infelices?
Yes, that's the one.
Oh, I'm sorry, senorita, I cannot play that melody for you. Not this evening.
Why not?
You will say it is foolish gypsy superstition, perhaps, but in my tribe it is believed that for a girl newly betrothed to hear this music is bad luck. Very bad.
What kind of bad luck?
Because if she hears this music at such a time, she will never stop hearing it. It will haunt her from that time forward. And her heart will follow the music. And she will do what the music bids her to do. Even kill her lover, if the music tells her to.
Well, I'll take a chance on that, Henri.
Very well, then. I will play, but never say Enrique did not warn you.
Anne, what is it?
That cat, watching from the doorway. Look at its eyes. Yellow eyes.
Darling, you're so strange this evening. Something wrong?
Something's terribly wrong, David. The music and that cat watching from the doorway like death.
Anne.
Take me out of here quickly, David. I'm afraid.
Well, of course, darling.
I'm sorry, David. I couldn't help myself. I felt I had to get out of there.
You'd what, darling? And what's happened to you? Why do you look at me so strangely?
I don't know. I keep thinking of what Enrique said about that melody. There was bad luck for me. I would never stop hearing it. It would haunt me and I would do its bidding. Even kill.
And stop it. Get hold of yourself.
I'm tired, I guess. You'd better take me. As we walked away from the cafe that evening, I was like a person in a hypnotic trance. I kept hearing that melody in my head.
You will never stop hearing the music. It will haunt you.
No. No, I won't listen to it.
Even kill your lover if the music tells you to.
No. I love David. He'll help me to forget.
No one can help you now, Anne. The music and the cat with the yellow eyes watching from the doorway.
Like death. I fought it with all my strength, but it was no use. The music called me irresistibly back to that dingy little cafe, to Henrique, and to the cat with the yellow eyes. The cat that belonged to Lubos, a man I had never seen.
Yes, something. I knew you would. It was the music, wasn't it? The music told you to come.
How did you know?
Did I not tell you it would be so?
The other night, when you told the legend about that melody, something happened inside my head. And when you played it, it sounded so strange to me. And after that...
You hear it all the time?
Yes. I thought if I could hear the melody played again, maybe it would lift the spell. I'd do anything to stop this thing that's torturing me.
What do you know about torture? You hear music in your head. What do you know what it means to hate him and to your stomach turns inside out from hatred? And to work for that man and have him watch you every minute, and when he's not here, that cat of his, that devil of a black cat, watching me with those yellow eyes.
Why do you hate Lubos so much?
Why do you hear music in your head? Who can tell about these things? There are devils in both of us. I will help you kill your devil if you will help me kill Lubos.
You're mad. You don't know what you're saying.
He lives in a ruined house. The address is 117 Green Street. Take the cat with you and tell the druggist you want chloroform to get rid of the cat. Where is he? The janitor will let you in.
Stop it. I won't listen to any more of this.
The music will tell you when it is time. The melody. Remember.
No, I won't listen to it. I won't.
But you are listening to it, aren't you? You can't help yourself. And you will do what the music tells you to do. Won't you?
No, I won't.
What is the music telling you to do?
To kill Lubos.
And you will do it. Won't you?
No, Kitty.
That's right. Take the cat with you. Hurry up. Got to get there before the drugstore closes. That's right. Open the door. Okay.
Yes, miss. What can I do for you?
A bottle of chloroform, please.
Yeah, that's a handsome cat you've got there, miss. It's a shame you're putting him out of the way.
It has to be done. He has a stomach infection, quite incurable.
Well, those things will happen. Here you are, miss. That will be 38 cents plus tax.
Put the chloroform in your purse now, Emma. Hurry along now. Here we are. Green Street. Around the corner. There is the house. Over there. He's sleeping there now. The man you're going to kill.
Who's that?
I'm looking for Senor Lubos. I've brought his cat home. I live next door to the cafe and...
All right. He's
Use the first door at the top of the landing. And don't make no more noise on the stairs than you can help.
You see, Em, how simple it is. That's right, up the stairs. Wait now. Before you open the door, the bottle of chloroform. Get it ready. That's it. Now, put the cat down. Gently, gently. He won't make any more noise now. He's home with his master. Yes, he's asleep. Fast. Quickly now. The chloroform. Over his face, quickly. Push it down hard. He's waking up. Pour more chloroform on the closet. He's waking up.
Who is that? Who?
The knife. There's a knife on the table there. Grab it before he does. The knife, Em. The knife. Kill him.
No, don't do it. Please. Don't do it. I tell you.
He's dead. Dead. I've killed a man. I've killed a man.
Well, what are you waiting for? Come on and help her. I'll be close by, swinging on my squeaky door. You know, I just love to swing on that door. It makes such a nice sound. Listen. Why do I like the sound? Because it reminds me of painful, scratchy razor burn.
Men, when you torture your face with razor burn, don't just blame your razor blade. Instead, try Palmolive Brushless. That smooth, easy to spread, won't clog your razor shave cream. You see, Palmolive Brushless is made with real olive oil to literally lubricate your skin so your razor just glides along with no tugging, no scratching, no scraping. Yes, mister, even the toughest beards lie down and wilt when you use Palmolive Brushless. And your face is cool, comfortable, younger looking, not a bit drawn or dry. So why don't you quit bothering with a shaving brush and try Palmolive Brushless? You buy Palmolive Brushless in the big money-saving Victory jar, and we'll guarantee you the cleanest, most comfortable shave of your life. And we know you'll sing goodbye forever to painful razor burn.
All right, friends, let's get back to that song that murders them. You remember how it goes? You remember how it haunted Anne into committing murder for Henrique? Well, it's still haunting her. And she's telling David about it in that room where death and its melody hover near.
Yes, I was a murderer. I had plunged a knife into a man's throat and stood there watching while he died in agony. Then went calmly home. You were waiting outside my door, David.
Anne, where have you been?
Out.
But, Anne, your dress and your gloves.
Why, David, it looks like...
It looks like blood, Anne. And it is blood.
But I don't... Where did it come from?
You mean you don't know?
Oh, maybe it was on the seat of the taxi. Maybe somebody cut themselves in there before I... Maybe the driver had carried an accident case to the hospital. But why should you follow me into my flat in the middle of the night and cross-question me like this? What right have you?
Maybe you've forgotten that this was our wedding day. I waited at City Hall until I was thrown out.
Our wedding day. Oh, David.
What happened, Anne?
Well, I don't remember exactly.
Don't remember?
You know, that tune has been running through my head. This morning it got suddenly worse. I was desperate about it. I thought maybe if I went back to Henrique and heard it played again, I might be able to get it out of my mind.
Well, what happened? Yes? What is it, Anne?
Music. That melody. Don't you hear it?
I don't hear anything. Lubos was murdered a little while ago. A woman wearing a navy blue suit and white gloves went up to his room on the pretext of taking his cat to her. She tried to chloroform him, and failing that, she stabbed him in the throat with his own knife.
No, I couldn't have done a thing like that, David. There it is again. Can't you hear it?
Anne, there's nothing to hear. It's just in your mind. I don't know what happened tonight, and I don't want to know. But one thing is certain, this man has you under a hypnotic spell. We've got to fight this thing somehow, this music you hear.
Be quiet, David. Trying to tell me something.
He's trying to trap you, Anne. He's going to make you remember that you killed Lubos. You'd better kill him too, Anne. Before it's too late.
Oh, no. Not even for the music. Not even the music can make me do that, Henri.
Anne, what are you saying, Anne?
Oh, it's all right. It's gone away now. It was trying to get me to kill you, David.
Oh, Anne, darling, what has he done to you?
David, it's the music.
Then why did you say Henri just now when you were talking to the music?
I don't know. It's the music that talks. But it's always Henrique's voice, and...
Did Henrique's voice tell you to kill Lubos?
Yes. I remember now, David. Yes, even buying the chloroform. But I don't feel guilty.
You aren't guilty. Now, look, do as I tell you, Anne. Take off these clothes and burn them. I'm going to lock you in here. If you hear the music again, fight it. Fight it with all your strength. I'll be back here in an hour. When you see me come in that door, you'll know that music of yours has been silent forever.
Where are you going, David?
To kill Henrique.
So you have come to kill me because I've put hypnotic spells on your beloved. Excuse me, what a joke, senor.
No joke, Henrique. A man was murdered a while ago by you.
I thought it was proven that Lubos was murdered by a woman. Besides, I was playing my violin in the cafe at the time of the murder.
While Anne, under your hypnotic spell, was doing your dirty work.
Nonsense. He was stabbed in the throat with a knife belonging to Manuela Rosales, a gypsy woman with whom he had quarreled. Do not worry, my friend. I've composed a new melody. Would you care to hear it, senor?
Go ahead, Henrique. I'm listening.
You must look at me while I play. Look at my eyes. It makes me play better.
Well, what's the idea? What do you want me to do?
Kill her. Kill your fiancée.
Stop it! Stop it, or So, I am under the spell of your music, am I? I'll choke the music out of your soul. Help me, I will.
You are making a terrible mistake. A terrible...
Where is your music now, Henrique?
And now that Henrique is dead, we can go back to what we were before. We can be married. That's what you're trying to say to me, isn't it, David?
Why not, Anne? Why not?
Because when you opened the door and came back into this room a few moments ago, the music was still playing.
It's not playing now, is it, Anne? Is it?
No, not now. Oh, David, take me in your arms, darling. Tell me it's all right. Tell me again so I'll really believe it.
Oh, Anne.
It was just a bad dream, wasn't it, David? They never really existed, did they? Henrique and Lubos and the cat with the yellow eyes.
Of course not, darling. Of course it was just a dream.
David!
It's all right, darling. I see it too. It's a black cat.
Oh.
Must have followed me home. You see, it's really quite friendly. Go ahead, darling. Pet him.
All right, David.
There, that's it. You see, it's just an ordinary cat.
Yes. Yes, of course.
Take the letter opener the letter opener on the desk. Go and get it.
Yes, of course.
And you're not hearing it again, are you? Anne, is that the music again?
Oh, no, David. It's just I've been crying so much, I think I'd better fix my makeup. Be a darling and bring my purse, will you? It's in the bedroom in the top drawer of the bureau.
Sure. Back in a sec.
Now take the letter opener and follow him. That's it. Quietly now. He mustn't hear you coming. His back is turned. He's still rummaging in the bureau drawer. The poor fool. Quietly. Now, and now.
Anne, put that knife away.
No, David, it's no use. I can't find it any longer. I must kill you.
Anne, don't, Anne.
Oh, David. David.
Anne, darling, speak to me. I didn't mean to do it. I tried to grab your arm. That's all. The point of the letter open, it turned and...
It's all right.
I'll get a doctor.
Oh, no, David. Please don't leave me. It's better this way. If I lived, I'd have to kill you. The music would make me do it. And there might be others. Yes, David, it's better this way.
Oh, Anne. Anne.
It was the music, David. The music. A melody more beautiful than life itself. Listen to it, David. Melody of death.
Oh, sister. Speaking of melodies, I want that little number for our concert we're giving in the lower chamber of Music Society of Inner Sanctum. As a matter of fact, I want Henrique to fiddle around. And I want... Oh, si, Senor Shaving Cream. What is it you want?
I want lots of lather. I want lots of lather. Okay, you men who use a brush when you shave, you want lots of lather. And you'll get lots of lather simply by using Palmolive Lather Shaving Cream. For an honest whisker wilter, millions of men say there's nothing like it. In fact, more men use Palmolive Lather than any other kind. Here's why. First, Palmolive Lather Shaving Cream gives lots and lots of lather. He-Man lather with millions of moist bubbles to blitz your beard. Second, Palmolive Lather is made with olive oil and oil from the coconut palm to lubricate your razor, speed your shave, smooth your skin. So, if you're a lather and brush user and want to get rid of razor burn, get Palmolive Lather for the smoothest, easiest shave you ever whistled your way through. Get Palmolive Lather Shaving Cream, knowing it's going to leave your face looking younger, your skin smoother, your disposition better, or your money back.
Friends, what would you do if you found out that someone you knew was peddling stolen merchandise? You'd be horrified. But tell me something. Have you ever bought extra gasoline coupons or accepted them from friends? Have you ever bought gasoline without giving up coupons? Ah, well, you know what I'm thinking. That makes you a receiver of stolen merchandise, and that is a serious offense.
Yes, friends, every precious drop of gasoline we can spare is needed for our armed forces. People who buy gasoline without surrendering their own coupons are getting more than their fair share of the fixed civilian supply. So play square with gasoline rationing. Use only the coupons issued to you legally.
So, friends, by the way, the latest Inner Sanctum Mystery novel is The Moon Was Red by Dana Sage. Oh, now look here. Here's a calling card and a confirmed appointment for next week's Inner Sanctum Mystery. That dapper demon of deviltry right from Hollywood, Adolphe Manjou, to suavely and smoothly scare us right out of our Inner Sanctum. And now it's time to close the squeaking door until next Saturday, when Palmolive Brushless and Palmolive Lather Shaving Creams bring you another Inner Sanctum Mystery. Until then, good night. Pleasant dreams.
What is the 14-day Palmolive plan? Yes, what is the 14-day Palmolive plan?
It's the biggest beauty news in years. Doctors tested this plan, proved it brought lovelier complexions to 2 out of 3 of all the women tested. Here it is.
Wash your face with Palmolive soap. Then massage for a full 60 seconds with Palmolive's beautifying lather. Then rinse. Do this 3 times a day.
Easy to do, yet 36 doctors prove this Palmolive plan brings a lovelier complexion to 2 out of 3 women. No matter what type of skin you have, dry or oily, the 14-day Palmolive plan works. So get Palmolive. See what Palmolive can do for your skin in only 14 days. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Lipton Tea and Lipton Soup present Inner Sanctum Mysteries. Good evening, friends. This is Raymond, your host. Welcome again to the Inner Sanctum. Come in, won't you? You'll have to excuse me for not getting up, but I have an awfully stiff neck. You see, I was out with a certain lady last night who collects very curious things. She spent the first half of the evening telling me how wonderful I am, but after that, well, it's one thing when a girl tries to turn your head. It's another when she tries to twist it off. And now, friends, let me introduce someone who is a real lady. She must be a lady because she wants to reform me. Come in, Mary Bennett.
Hello, folks.
Draw up a coffin and sit down, Mary.
Now, Mr. Raymond, please don't talk that way. It isn't nice. Why are you always pretending to be so cold-hearted and creepy? Underneath, I'm sure you're a friendly, good-natured sort of man. Yes, you are. Underneath, you're just like everybody else. I'll bet you like to come home in the evening, put on an old jacket and slippers, and then sit down to supper. Yes, sir, and I'll bet I know one of your favorite dishes, too. Noodle soup. Or most all men like noodle soup. That's why Lipton's is so popular. Lipton's noodle soup is real homemade tasting. It's got a grand chickeny flavor, and it's swimming with noodles. Egg noodles, too. You know, Lipton's noodle soup will bring a family swarming to the table quicker than a dinner bell. Mr. Raymond, someday I'm going to take you home with me and feed you a good hot bowl of Lipton's noodle soup.
Well, thanks for the invitation, Mary. And now let me invite you to come to the desert and hear the story of Desert Death. It's an original tale written by that spinner of surprise stories, Robert Newman. And our star tonight is Horace Braham. The desert, eerie and mysterious at sundown. The sun sinking slowly in a purple haze. The cactus casting long and weirdly twisting shadows. The hot winds still. Silence over all. Driving fast, a dusty car comes down the narrow desert road. At the wheel is Dan Darrell, a rancher. Next to him is his Indian friend, Toby Priest.
Still worrying, Toby? Stop teasing me, Dan. You know I never did worry. I just told you what my people used to think it meant.
Used to think? Didn't you say we ought to postpone our trip into town today?
I did.
And when did you say it? Right after you saw them. 3 vultures lying together toward the sunset. That means 3 days. A bad omen for a journey. Hey, look.
I see him.
What's a man doing out here in the middle of nowhere on foot? Anything the matter, stranger? Need any help?
You're very kind. Our car broke down and, well, we were in a bit of a spot. Didn't know whether anyone would be likely to come along here or not.
We?
Oh, I didn't see your friends. Well, come in. We're going to Palo Verde. We're glad to take you that far.
Well, that's very decent of you. Thanks.
Thank you. My name's Darrell, Dan Darrell, and this is Toby Priest.
Well, I'm very happy to know you. I'm Richards. And this is Brennan and Smith.
How do you do? Howdy. You're British, ain't you?
Why, yes. Clever of you to spot it. We're on our way out to the coast. One of those hush-hush missions. That's why it's so important we get into town.
Oh, sure. Which way'd you come? Medicine Creek or Route 12?
Why, Medicine Creek. It sounded more scenic.
He's lying, Dan. You know that, don't you?
What makes you say that, Toby?
Use your head. He doesn't look.
Mr. Darrow, surely it's considered rude to whisper in front of strangers, even here in America, isn't it?
What? Oh, sorry.
Yes, I'm sure you will be. But first I must insist on knowing what you were saying.
Insist? What you mean, insist? This is my car, and this is
I know. A free country. But this is a gun. That's why I can insist. And now, will you tell me what you were saying?
I was saying it, so I'll tell you. I said you were lying, that you weren't British at all.
No? Then who are we?
I think that you're Nazi prisoners who escaped from that camp up near Post City.
Oh? And what makes you think that?
First, none of your clothes fit you, so they're obviously not yours. Second, you said your car broke down, but there wasn't any car around. Third, you said you came by way of Medicine Creek, and that road's closed.
All right. Stop the car and let us get it over with.
You mean shoot them? Not so quick, Bernard. We can use them for a while yet. At least one of them.
What the devil do you mean?
Of course, your Indian friend is right. Very clever, too. But since I have a gun, you will take orders from me. Our first need is water. You have any in the car?
No.
And then we will have to find some.
Yeah? Where'd you expect to find water in the desert?
I told you we were Nazis, Darrell. I did not tell you that we were Rommel's men from the Africa Corps. That means we know the desert, any desert, better than anyone on Earth. Those hills off there to the left. Take the left-hand road at that fork there and head toward them. But do as I say.
How much further you want me to go up this wagon track?
Slow up. Isn't that yes, the shack right next to the cliff. Stop.
Looks deserted, but there, next to it. Is that not a well?
It should be. Brenner, go see if there's any water in it.
Jawohl, Herr Colonel.
You two come with us. We'll go look at the shack. What is this place? Those terraces up there on the cliff?
A pueblo. Cliff dwellings. Centuries ago, my people lived in villages like this.
There is water in it, Herr Colonel. Even a bucket to get it up with.
Good. Come into the house. Match, Schmidt. From the dust, I'd say no one had been here for a good many years. Prospector's cabin, wasn't it?
Probably.
That means... there's what I want. Shovel.
What the devil do you want that for? To dig yourself a grave?
Yes, Darrell, exactly. But not for me.
Huh? What you mean?
Precisely what I said. Sit down. Make yourselves comfortable, and I will explain things to you.
I'll stand if you don't mind.
Oh, not at all. We Nazis are very objective, analytical people. We decided we needed a car to make our escape in. Now we have one. We also decided we needed someone to drive the car and get us safely across the border. That means we can use one of you. The other one will die.
You wouldn't dare.
My dear Darrow, outside of the thousands of men we killed in North Africa, who don't count, we killed at least 2 guards in making our escape. Do you really think one more death means anything to us? The only question is, which of you shall die?
This one here. He talks too much.
Well, that's not quite fair, Brenner. He's just, shall we say, less stoical than the Indian? On the other hand, I think that in the long run, he would probably prove easier to handle, less dangerous. That means that the Indian died.
What? Why, you...
Shut up, Thank you, Brett. Schmidt, take the gun, the shovel, and our Indian friend, and watch over him while he digs his grave. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Of course, I personally would prefer a deeper grave, but that's up to you.
The depth is not important. The only thing that matters is that it faces west. That is why I dug it with the head against the cliff. An old tribal custom.
Very interesting. Similar to the Egyptians. But of course, they believed in a life after death.
My people believe in a life after death also, Colonel. And in this case, I think I can promise that I will not rest easy in my grave.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Hear this, too, men from across the seas. Men with death in your hearts. For the evil you would do, evil will follow you like a hungry wolf.
What is that?
What he just mentioned, a wolf.
Though you bury me deep, the earth will not hide me till you have paid for your crimes. Here where you have killed, here too will you die.
Now, Herr Colonel.
Yes, Brenner.
Oh, you can't, you.
Very good, Schmidt. I'll take the gun now. Fill in the grave, then meet us back at the cabin.
What a place. It's worse than Qatar.
I wish you'd sit down, Darrell, and stop staring out of the window.
You're worried about your friend. I buried him very nicely. I'm not worried about him. I'm thinking about what he said before you killed him. I should think that you think about it, too.
That? We have had more curses laid on us in more languages than you have hairs on your head.
What's that? Must be the wind.
No, it is different. More like some kind of musical instrument.
But there's no one around here but us. There hasn't been anyone living in those houses up on the cliff for centuries.
It's just the wind, I tell you. But if you want to, go take a look. Go take a look, I said.
Ja, wohl, Herr Koll. It's too dark. There's too much sand blowing to see anything. But wait. Go there near the foot of the cliff. There's something. It looks like... Oh, God. It's the Indian. He's lying there. Out of his grave. Oh, you bury me deep. The earth will not hide me till you have paid for your crimes. Here where you have killed, here too will you die. A 100 curses in a dozen different tongues. Perhaps they did mean 3 deaths. If so, who are the others that'll die and who will live?
Gosh, Mr. Raymond, this is exciting.
What? Oh, Mary Bennett, I've overlooked you in all this desert. Tell me, Mary, whom do you hope will die, huh?
Well, I don't like to see anybody killed. But those Nazis sure ought to be clapped in jail.
Mm-hmm. And deprived of their Lipton's noodle soup, aren't they?
Well, I should say. Lipton's noodle soup is much too good for fellas like them. It belongs to law-abiding folks who've got a right to sit down to a plate of homemade tasting soup. And say, that's just the kind of noodle soup you get when you use Lipton's. Lipton's is the noodle soup with the old-fashioned flavor, you know, brimming with noodles and blessed with a real chickeny taste. Yes, it takes Lipton's to show how good a noodle soup can be.
Now, Mary, don't get so excited. Stay calm. Why don't you go and perch on that tombstone over there while I go on with the story of death in the desert? I'm warning you, if I do go on, you'll be seeing strange sights and hearing strange sounds every time you put out the lights. But it's your funeral. It's just a moment later now.
The three Nazis are still standing at the open door of the deserted cabin, staring out into the darkness. Then the colonel turned sharply, glares at them.
What was that you said, Darrell?
I was just repeating what Dover said. Before you murdered him.
It's true, Herr Colonel. That's what he did say. The earth will not hide me. And there he is out of his grave, lying there as if...
Fine Nazi you are. A fine example of the Afrika Korps. Listening to the ravings of a savage and believing them. Schmidt, where did you bury the Indian? In the sand. Then this wind came along and blew the sand away. And that's all.
And that strange wind?
Another trick of the wind. But if it bothers you to see him lying there, go on out and bury him again. Deeper this time.
No, Herr Colonel, no.
Well, that's an order.
Jawohl, Herr Colonel.
Friend Schmidt seems to be getting a bit rattled.
That's why I sent him out there. Nothing like facing a fear to overcome it.
Colonel Ulrich, do you not think it is about time that Schmidt came back?
He's only been gone about 5 or 10 minutes. I told him to dig the grave deep this time.
I know, but I do not see him out there anywhere.
Well, how could you expect to when it's so dark and when the sand is blowing like that? Maybe we'd better go out and see what's taking him so long. And you too, Mr. Darrell, if you don't mind.
Not at all.
Schmidt! Schmidt, where are you? Blasted idiot. Probably wandered off into the desert. Schmidt!
Ulrich, look. The Indian. He is still lying there. He never did bury him.
That means Schmidt never even got over there. Must have lost his way right after he got outside. Schmidt!
I think you can save your breath, Colonel Ulrich. Come on over here. To the well.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Schmidt. Dead.
Well, why are you looking at me like that, Brenner? Exactly as I said. He lost his way in the darkness, the sandstorm, fell down the well.
Yeah, I guess that is what must have happened.
As for you, Mr. Darrell, since you discovered Schmidt, you shall have the pleasure of burying your friend the Indian again.
Jawohl, dear Colonel.
I'm sorry, I never did appreciate the American type of humor. Now get busy with that shovel.
May I just point out that, while it's easy for you to knock me down when my hands are tied, it's not so easy for me to use a shovel.
Oh, I intend to untie you. But please remember always that I have a gun, and that Brenner and I have every intention of getting away from here. I'm happy to see that you've stopped pacing the floor and looking out the window, Mr. Darrow. That means you've stopped expecting something miraculous to happen that will save you.
Is that what you think it means?
Frankly, no. In fact, I think just the opposite. You're looking much more cheerful than before. You're thinking one of them is dead. Now it will be that much easier to get away. It really pains me to disillusion you. Schmidt was a sergeant, a fool. I can assure you that neither Brenner nor myself are going to be bothered by strange noises or tricks of the wind. Right, Brenner?
Of course not, Colonel.
Good. And now, if we were to make an early start, I think we should get some rest. Brenner, you take the first watch and wake me at midnight. I advise you to get some rest, too, Darrell. Maybe you'll be able to dream of some way of escaping.
Thanks. But I'm not sleeping.
You wish. Good night.
Quite a character.
He was one of the best soldiers in the Afrika Korps.
Yeah? Where's Afrika Korps now? Where are you? This isn't Africa, Brenner. This is America. This is a part of America where strange things happen. Things that even the Indians can't explain.
Indians. Ignorant savages. That devilish music again. Where does it come from?
I thought you said it was a wind. Or was it Ulrich that said that?
It must be the wind. It must.
Bury me deep. The earth will not hide me. till you pay for your crimes.
What is that? That was what Tova said just before you killed him.
Schmidt was first, Brenner. You will be next. I'm waiting, Brenner. Waiting.
You heard that, Tove? Yeah. I heard it.
You're lying. You're lying, I say. You're just trying to frighten me.
What? Who's trying to frighten you? What's going on?
It is nothing here, Colonel. Just that music again. For a moment, it sounded as if someone was calling my name.
Someone was calling your name, Brenner. The dead man. And you know you heard it.
So?
There it is again. You hear it?
Just that same noise, the wind.
Look, Woolwich, look. That Indian is out of his grave again.
How can you tell? It's too dark to see.
But I know he is. I know it.
I'm very disappointed in you, Brenner. You're losing your grip, slipping.
I'm sorry, Herr Colonel. It is just this place, the nervous tension, the mating.
Just being sorry isn't enough. Fear is a weakness. As much of a weakness as pity. You know that as Nazis we cannot tolerate either one. And you also know what you must do, don't you?
No, Herr Colonel. No.
You must face your fear and overcome it. You must go out there and prove to yourself that you are not afraid. That you've just been imagining things the way Schmidt did.
But
Schmidt was a fool. He had an accident. You are an officer. And you will not have an accident. Now go ahead and convince yourself that this is all nonsense.
Jawohl, Herr Colonel.
But leave the gun with me. What's out there is imaginary, but Mr. Darrell is very real. If I didn't have a gun, he might get ideas.
Jawohl, Herr Colonel. Here. I will be back in a few minutes.
You're looking at me very strangely, Mr. Darrell. Perhaps now you're starting to understand the fiber of the Nazi character. And perhaps now you're beginning to realize why you can never win this war. Because we allow nothing to defeat us or stand in our way. Any sign of weakness is ruthlessly stamped out. And... God, what's that?
Sounded to me like Brenner.
Outside, quick. And don't try to get away or I'll shoot you down in your tracks.
Okay. Which way?
Towards the cliff, where we buried the Indian. That's where he went, and... What's that over there?
My guess is that it's your friend, Brenner. Maybe you better make sure.
It is Brenner. Dead. Strangled.
So it was all imagination, huh? Just face your fear and overcome it. Aren't you feeling just a little frightened, Colonel?
No. No. There's some rational explanation for everything that happened. Look. The Indian. He is out of his grave again. And that's the answer. He wasn't dead. But this should take care of him. There. And you will notice that even at a moment like this, I look ahead. 1 shot before and 4 now. That still leaves 1 bullet for you, if it should prove necessary.
You think of everything, don't you?
Yes, my friend, everything. Now get into that car. We're not going to wait until morning. We're leaving here right now.
I thought you had everything figured out. You weren't frightened.
What's that?
What's what?
That noise, that music. It's like the music we heard after we killed the Indian.
I don't hear anything.
Oh, but you must hear it. You must. Listen. It's coming from over there.
For the evil you have done, evil will follow you like a hungry wolf. Though you bury me deep, the earth will not hide me till you have paid for your crimes.
Did you hear that? Did you hear it?
Yeah. I heard it.
Here where you have killed, here too will you die.
No. You're dead. You're dead, I tell you. I killed you.
First Schmidt, then Brenner, now you.
But you're dead, I tell you. And the dead don't speak. I can't be really hearing you unless... Mad. No. Can't let that happen. I can't. There's one way. The Nazi way. A way to fool you all. This is why you'll never beat us. Never. Never.
Toby! Toby! Where are you?
Over here. Near the foot of the cliff.
Are you all right?
That first bullet creased my head. I was already dropping by the time he fired. Outside of that, I'm all right.
Figured that was what had happened when Schmidt went down the well. I knew it was an accident.
I was pretty happy that it was you that buried me the second time. That you put my face against the cliff, left a hole for me to breathe. The first time, well, it was pretty tough until the wind blew the sand off.
Yeah, but what about when he shot you again? That ungodly music.
It wasn't me he shot that second time. It was Schmidt. I pulled his body out of the well. I figured that in the dark, no one would be able to tell the difference. As for the music, that's why I dug the grave here. You see these holes here in that cliff? My people drilled them centuries ago. The wind blows through them. Makes weird music. This bottom hole was blocked up, but I opened it while I was digging the grave.
Talking of graves, there's 3 of them we should be digging right now. Just one more thing I'd like to ask you, Toby.
What's that?
What you said this morning. Those 3 buzzards flying together toward the west. Does it really mean 3 deaths?
There were 3 deaths. Weren't there, Dan?
Boy, Toby. Never give a Nazi an even break. Unless it's in the neck. As for our 3 visiting murderers, they may not like our sense of humor, but they can't complain about our poetic justice. After all, it was in the desert that they got their just deserts. Well, Mary Bennett, did you like the desert with its sand and wind and weird music? Would you like to live there?
Well, I wouldn't mind so much. You know, I believe a woman can make a good home in some pretty out-of-the-way places, the way the old-time housewives did. But, well, I'd want to lay in a supply of good modern food. Food that's easy to make, like Lipton's noodle soup. Say, that noodle soup of Lipton's would really put some cheer in the desert, wouldn't it?
Yes, of course, Mary, of course. Remind me to take Lipton's with me on my next safari. We must have a word of advice. Here it is. If you should wake up one of these nights in a cold sweat, convinced that there's something or someone in your room, and if, when you look toward the window, you should see a strange figure silhouetted in the moonlight, then pull the blankets up over your head and don't look out again. It'll be one of our 3 friends from tonight's story, one of the Africa corpses. By the way, this month's Inner Sanctum Mystery novel is Puzzle for Puppets by Patrick Quentin. Well, now I guess it's time to close that there squeaking door until next week at this same time. So until next Tuesday night. Good night. Pleasant dreams.
Folks, here we are outside the squeaking door. And I guess we're all pretty thirsty after all that talk about deserts. Well, I know just the thing that'll put us back to normal again. It's Lipton tea. Yes, a cup of that brisk Lipton tea would do just fine. And did you notice that word brisk? B-R-I-S-K. It's a mighty important word in tea language. The tea experts always use it. It means that Lipton tea has a lively flavor, never wishy-washy. That's why most folks prefer Lipton's to any other kind. Don't forget, that's Lipton tea. And don't forget to tune in again next Tuesday night to Inner Sanctum.
This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Lipton Tea and Lipton Soup present Inner Sanctum Mysteries, starring Lee Bowman. Friends, this is your host, Raymond. Welcome to the Inner Sanctum. Come in, won't you? What are you staring at? The walls. Well, you know that old saying about walls having ears. Well, these walls have eyes and a nice assortment of fingers and hands. One of them has a heart, but you can't beat that. Don't mind me, friends. In my old age, I'm getting to be a bit of a gore.
You're getting to be a crotchety old bachelor, that's what.
Who said that? Oh, Mary Bennett. Hello. Tell me, Mary, do you think I should get married? You know, I used to have a girlfriend, but she threw me over. She was a vampire. She said I wasn't her blood type.
Mr. Raymond, please, what a silly thing to say. More and more, I'm convinced that what you need is a wife. I'd just love to see the way a wife would handle you.
Would you send me a wedding present, Mary?
I sure would. I'd send you a big supply of Lipton's noodle soup. You know, I'll bet your wife would appreciate that. My goodness, in the old days, it took a woman all day to make a pot of noodle soup, whereas nowadays it only takes a jiffy. That is, when you use Lipton's noodle soup mix. But Lipton's has got the same homemade taste, believe you me. It's got the same chickeny flavor. Yes, sir, a hot plate of Lipton's noodle soup is a grand welcome home for the whole family. One whiff of that savory Lipton's noodle soup, and folks feel relaxed and ready for dinner with a rousing good appetite.
Well, now, that's a very pretty picture, Mary. Which reminds me, our story tonight is about one of the fine arts. Murder. It's called Death is an Artist, an original tale by Frederick Matho. And our star is from Hollywood, Lee Bowman, soon to appear with Rita Hayworth in the Columbia Technicolor picture Tonight and Every Night. So, curdle close to the fire and turn the lights down real low. By the way, if you have a little spook or two in your home, looking behind your shower curtains before turning on the water is the courteous thing to do. Otherwise, you might be dampening your spirits. Now let's get on with our story.
I'm Stevie, a reporter. I'm what's called a police reporter because I hang around police stations for my stories. But tonight, I'm the best reporter in the world. Because I've got that kind of a story that's only given to one writer in 1,000, once in a lifetime. This story begins with the end of a man's life. Yesterday, an old man living alone with his 5 cats on an abandoned barge under the Brooklyn Bridge cut off the heads of 4 of his cats, then expertly slit his own throat from ear to ear. At 6 o'clock on the morning we got the flash about this old man, I was playing cribbage with Mike, my police pal, at the station house squad room. Burke, the desk captain, was snoring his head off. Okay, Mike, there it is. Go, 121 points. That last run made it.
You're the luckiest jerk, Stevie.
We're both lucky. Not a call the whole night.
Sure hate to drive out to anything in this blizzard. Brace, 84th Precinct, Brooklyn. What? Yeah. Wait, say that slower. You haven't seen him in a week. His cats ain't around. Oh, but lady... Huh? Blood in the snow. Well, that's different, sure. Yeah, okay, thanks.
What's up, Captain?
Some dame passes an old barge down the foot of the bridge on her way to work every day. Says an old bum lives there with his cats.
Don't tell me I gotta rescue a cat now.
No, this coot talks to her real polite every morning. But she ain't seen him in a week. Today she goes to look close like and finds blood in the snow near the door.
So we go see. Probably went south for the winter. Coming along, Stevie?
Yeah, but I don't like it. Burke mentioned cats, and I hate cats. And I hate people who keep cats.
This is it, I guess. Come on, Stevie.
Hey, look, Mike. There's a snowman.
So what? Haven't you ever seen a snowman?
Yeah, but look. That's not an ordinary snowman. It's a beautifully sculptured head of a woman made out of snow.
Ah, come on. It's cold. Let's get inside this scow here. Hey, open up. Open up there. Open up inside.
There is blood out here, Mike. Look. See? Here's where the woman's footprints stop.
Okay, Sherlock. Help me bust this door. Okay.
Oh, what's the matter with you?
Look on the floor.
Holy mackerel. 1, 2, 3, 4 cats with their heads cut off. And another one. Alive.
Hey, where are you going?
I told you I can't stand them dead or alive. One of them clawed me when I was a kid.
Stevie, get a load of this over here on the bed. He did a good job. From ear to ear.
He had done a good job. He was naked to the waist, and his hairy torso was bathed in blood. His head lay to one side and was nearly severed at the throat. His mouth, a strangely sensitive mouth, hung foolishly open in the middle of a matted mass of beard. But it was his eyes that stirred something inside me. They were cold black agates that smoldered with defiance, even in death. They seemed to carry a message only I was meant to see. I turned away and stumbled over a small wooden box. It contained clay fragments. An impulse seized me, and I carried the box outside.
What do you want that box of trash for?
I'm not sure. I just felt I ought to take it along. Mind?
Just junk. These bums collect the screwiest stuff. Come on, I'll drop you off at your paper. You'll get a news beat on this anyhow.
Okay, Mike. Thanks. I'll call you later to see if you identify the old bird.
All right, Stevie. Hey, here's that box of junk. You want it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, thanks, Mike. I wrote the item. All we could learn was that he was Ivan. No fingerprints on record, no relatives, just Ivan. So he stayed just Ivan to 250,000 readers and to the police. But to me, he was a man who had not yet died. I poked through the rubble of clay in the box, and I was about to throw the whole mess out when a time-blackened metal tag caught my eye. It was the kind of tag used to mark paintings or statues. It read, Agatha, January 2nd, 1924. 20 years ago, today. And below that was a name, Ivan Thorne. The name jangled a bell in my memory. It frightened me. It fascinated me. I rummaged in the box some more. A hunch grew to certainty. Ivan Thorne had been a sculptor. Here was a fragment of clay, a nose. Here, part of a chin. Here, an ear, a woman's ear. And the snow image of a woman's head came to mind. Why did Ivan Thorne, a sculptor of obvious talent, do a head of a woman named Agatha in clay, then on the same date,
20 years later, as a bum, reproduce it in snow, and slit his throat. I found the answer in the yellowed clippings of the newsroom morgue. The story of Ivan Thorne was filed under Murders Unsolved. After I'd read the story, I marched into GC's office.
Hey, what's up, Stevie? They study the Brooklyn Bridge again?
No. You read the item on the old guy I found with his throat cut?
Sure. Cut off his cat's heads, then his own, unidentified. Good item.
I know who he is. Was.
Yeah? Story?
Story. You got time to listen?
Shoot.
Well, this begins in a sculptor's studio off Washington Square on a stormy night long ago. Ivan Thorne and Agatha, his wife, were having words.
For the last time, Agatha. Are you really going through with this divorce foolishness?
For the last time, yes. I'm tired of living from hand to mouth. I'm tired of your stupid statues. I'm tired of your stupid cats. I'm tired of you.
All right. I'll give you the divorce. You can marry Greg Stevens. He'll give you everything you want. But Horace stays with me. I want custody of the boy.
The court will decide that.
Agatha, I've been working on that head of you for a year. It's good. I think the museum...
Oh, that thing? It doesn't even come close to looking like me.
Of course, that head isn't you. It's what I remember you as when I first met you.
Ivan, let go of me. You're hurting me.
All right. I'll let go of you. But I'm going to finish that head, Agatha. And you're going to help me.
I will not.
You'll get your divorce. Only if you agree in writing to pose me one day each month for 6 months. I must finish it.
6 months, hmm? And what about Horace?
He's away at school all the time. We'll let the court decide a decent arrangement.
All right, Ivan, I'll do that. Give me that pen. Here. I, Agatha Thorne, agree to pose for a sculptured head by Ivan Thorne on the first day of each month for 6 months. Signed, Agatha Thorne. There you are.
Now, get out. Get out before I break your neck. She's gone. She's gone. But I'll see her again. 6 more times. That's all I need. 6 more times.
Sounds to me like this Ivan guy is working up a neat little catastrophe.
Mr. Raymond.
Yes, Mary.
I got to thinking about that snowman they found. Did you ever make a snowman?
Oh, sure, and I cut off his head for a souvenir. Kept it in the icebox over the summer.
And you're teasing me, Mr. Raymond. But you know, when I was a child, we used to spend all afternoon making a snowman. And then we'd go in the house for supper with our cheeks red as a frost apple and with a real country appetite. The house was so warm and cozy. Yes, and filled with all the exciting smells of good cooking. You know how children are. They play in the snow and then come in ready to eat you out of house and home. And I've got a grand suggestion for these winter night suppers. Lipton's Noodle Soup Mix. It's such a heartening dish. Thrifty, too. Costs a lot less than canned soups. Yes, Lipton's Noodle Soup just seems to belong to folks young and old who've got a healthy appetite and a yen for homemade chickeny-tasting soup.
Mary.
Yes, Mr. Raymond?
Mr. Bowman is waiting to resume his part of the young police reporter, Stevie. That's right. You remember, Stevie told his editor that Ivan was divorced by his wife, Agatha, 20 years ago, and how the events that followed turned the sculptor into the tired old bum he was when he slit his throat under the Brooklyn Bridge.
Well, Stevie, did Agatha get her divorce?
Yes, and the court gave her custody of their 6-year-old kid, Horace. She married Greg Stevens, and according to these clippings, she kept her agreement with Thorne. She posed for the head he was doing of her so that he could finish it.
The first day of each month for 6 months, huh?
Yeah.
How'd he take the divorce and losing his kid and all?
Beautifully. So everybody thought. It got to be the talk of the town. The three of them, Agatha, Greg, and Ivan, seemed to get along fine together. The Stevenses were frequent callers at Thorne's studio.
Oh, I say, Thorne, why won't you show me the head you're making of Agatha? It isn't fair, you know.
Not till it's finished, Greg. You wouldn't appreciate it as it is now.
It really is good, Ivan. When will you finish it?
Yes, Ivan, when?
I want to finish it on New Year's Day. That will be the last time you need pose, Agatha. Can you make it that day?
Well, I'll just have to, won't I?
Yes. At 3 o'clock?
At 3 o'clock. Come on, Greg, darling.
Good night, Ivan.
Good night, Ivan. My goodness, 6 months goes by so fast, doesn't it?
Six months. I gave them 6 months. Monday, it's over. Monday is the last day she poses for me. Monday, I'll finish that head. I love her. And for 6 months, 6 centuries, she belonged to that idiot. He took my son from me. You can't hear me, Agatha. Can you? This is you and Clay. You can't hear me. Everybody thinks it's wonderful that Ivan Thorne is such a good sport about it. I fooled them all. I fooled you. Yes.
Then he really was out of his mind, Stevie, this Ivan guy.
Sure, but with a madman's cunning, he disguised it well. At that point, only his cats knew it, I guess. New Year's Day, 1924, was a howling wintry day. Neighbors later testified to seeing Ivan's massive frame, coat flailing open in the wind, eyes staring, unblinking, as he turned into his building. It was the last time they saw him. In his studio, Ivan kicked his door shut and began talking to Agatha's statue, as he'd gotten into the habit of doing now for some time.
I'll set the table by the fire, Agatha, just as we always did. You like that. And I'll set a place for little Horace. Oh, I know you don't want him to come here, but we'll just make believe, huh? Agatha, I must pull myself together. Happy New Year, Agatha. Come in, come in.
And the same to you, Ivan. Oh, let me get to that fire quickly. I'm frozen up. Why are you bolting the door?
The draft rattles the door. Here, give me a coat. Now, how about a bite? By the fire?
Why, Ivan. How quaint. Just like old times, hmm?
This is the last time you'll come to pose. Have you minded living up to our agreement?
No, Ivan. You've been very decent about it. But tell me, why are you so set on finishing the head you're doing of me?
Have you ever seen a human skull, Agatha? Ugly thing. Long after that pretty head of yours becomes a skull, the head I'm making of you will live in ageless bronze. That's why I'm so anxious to finish this work.
I see. Well, shall we start, Ivan? Ivan, you're not working. You're just staring at me.
I'm studying the line of your neck, darling. It eludes me.
Well, hurry, please. I've sat here for 2 hours now. I'm tired.
I'll be finished soon. Then you can rest, darling. Then you can rest.
Ivan, you're looking at me as though... Ivan!
You've moved your head again, darling. Here, let me show you. There. So. Just like this. Don't move, Agatha. My fingers are loose on your throat. But in a split second, I can sink them into you tight. Like this.
Don't.
I've loved you more in these few months you've been away from me than I ever did before. I'll always love you. But if I can't have you, no one else can.
Ivan, you're mad. You can't.
I gave you 6 months with that fool because I wasn't sure. I thought I could get over losing you and the boy. But I can't.
We all thought you were...
Resigned. No. But even now, I don't know if I want to kill you, Agatha. I'm not sure.
No, you don't. You know you don't. Think of Horace. Your son.
I am thinking of you, little fool.
Oh, Greg, help me.
Greg. You've got the nerve to speak his name here. No. You aren't Agatha, I did it. But you made me do it. How beautiful you are. Dead. Look at this clay head. Agatha, see, I was wrong. You're much more beautiful. I've changed my mind. I don't want fame. I don't want a statue. I want you. See, Agatha, I've broken it, smashed it. It's Greg Stevens who should die. He did all this to us. I'll go see Greg. That's it. But I must be careful now. I must make Greg suffer. Oh. I have it. Yes. He must know that he, too, has lost Agatha.
Wow, that's some yarn, Stevie. He actually strangled Agatha, huh? What happened then?
He left his studio and called at the Stevens' house a little after 6. Greg Stevens and young Horace were the only ones there, except for the butler. He testified that Ivan quietly asked to see Stevens alone. He had a bundle in his arms, covered with a piece of black velvet, when Gregory greeted him.
Ivan, well, glad to see you and Happy New Year to you. But where's Agatha? She was supposed to be with you.
She'll turn up shortly. Said something about a girlfriend she had to stop by for.
Oh, I see. Well, come on in, Ivan. We can have a glass of sherry while we wait.
Thanks.
Put your package down somewhere on the table here.
Thank you.
Did you get a lot done today on the head, I mean?
Yes. I've finished it.
Oh, good. Say, that wouldn't be it in that box, would it?
Yes, as a matter of fact, it is.
Well, good heavens, man, let me see it. I've been kept from all this long enough. Now that it's finished,
No, wait. Till Agatha gets here. I'm going away for a while, Stevens. Before I go, I want you to tell me something. Do you love Agatha? A lot, I mean.
A lot? I worship her. I adore her.
You know what you did to me when you took Agatha and my boy from me?
Well, the choice was hers. I'm glad for my sake. I'm sorry for you. But I thought you were resigned by now.
Resigned? You poor fool. I've lived a life of raging hate for you.
Ivan, sit down.
You don't have to be sorry for me anymore, Greg. You can start feeling sorry for yourself.
Thorne, what are you driving at?
Everything comes out even, Greg. Come over here.
What's in that box?
Come closer, Greg. Here. I'll take the cloth off. See for yourself.
Agatha. You fiend. You beast, I'll kill you.
Hurts, doesn't it, Greg? Hurts to lose Agatha. Doesn't it?
I'll kill you. I'll kill you.
Oh, you won't. Get away from me. You won't kill me.
I won't kill you. We'll both live to remember. Thorne didn't kill Stevens?
No, G.C. He knocked him out. They found his footprints in the snow along with the kids. He must have stopped to say goodbye.
What a story. He slit his throat this morning as a bum on a barge.
Yeah. Took his cats with him. The clay fragments I found in that box on the barge were all that was left of the clay head of Agatha.
Nobody even found out how he got away or managed to stay hidden for 20 years?
No. That's his secret.
Well, write it up, stupid.
I can't. I won't, G.C. You can't print that story.
The devil I can't. Where's this Greg Stevens? Where's Horace, the kid? Find him.
Greg Stevens died penniless and insane a year later. His kid was raised in an orphan asylum.
Well, find the kid. Now, let's see. He'd be about 26 today. Maybe he doesn't know any of these things. What a scoop. Get busy.
Look, you can't print this story. Why do you think I didn't write it up and hand it in? I feel sorry for the kid. I was raised in an asylum.
A story's a story.
What do I have to do? Draw you a diagram, G.C.? Why do you call me Stevie?
Well, because your name is Stevens, I guess. And, good heavens. You don't mean...
Yes. My name is Stevens. I never use my first name. I don't like it. It's Horace.
That's right. You're Horace Stevens.
Yes. My father was Ivan Thorne.
You have a little sculptor in your home, Better take his modeling away from him. Might grow up to be a bust. That's enough to give anybody the creeps.
It certainly is, Mr. Raymond.
Mary Bennett. Say, didn't you like our story tonight?
Well, it was exciting, all right, but why don't you tell stories about normal, happy people? Of course, folks like that never get murdered or anything, but interesting things happen to them. Nice things, too.
Like discovering Lipton's noodle soup, huh, Mary?
Well, why not? Lipton's noodle soup is a good way to brighten up a meal, and good meals are a mighty important part of life. So, folks, maybe you've tried other envelope soups, but if you've never tried Lipton's noodle soup, you've got something real nice ahead of you, because Lipton's is the favorite noodle soup of them all.
Our moral for tonight is don't drive alone. If you have a car, lucky you, form a carpool. Then, if you should have a flat tire, you'll be among friends on that cold, cold highway. Fun, huh? And Uncle Sam says join the carpool, too. He's not kidding. He says your carpool will help save gas and tires, so look to it, Max. Yes, this month's Inner Sanctum Mystery novel is Net of Cobwebs by Elizabeth Sanksay Holding. Oh, yes, and you won't forget to look for Lee Bowman with Rita Hayworth and the Columbia Technicolor picture Tonight and Every Night. Well, now it's time to say goodnight until next week at the same time when Lipton Tea and Lipton Soup again present another Inner Sanctum Mystery directed by Himan Brown. Good night. Pleasant dreams.
Folks, I got to thinking about wintertime, about snowmen and frost pictures on the windows, and about how cozy a house can be when there's a gale blowing outside. And then I got to thinking about Lipton tea, because a cup of Lipton's, the tea with that brisk flavor, really hits the spot. It's so cheerful and warming. You know, the word brisk, B-R-I-S-K, means that Lipton tea has a fresh, lively flavor. It's never thin or wishy-washy. That's why Lipton's is America's favorite tea. So don't forget to ask for it when you go to the grocery store. And don't forget to tune in next Tuesday night for another Inner Sanctum Mystery.
This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.